Hello everyone and welcome back. Really glad you are here for this one because lesson 6 is honestly one of my favorites to teach. Today we are tackling something that is going to immediately change how you speak German, the perfect tense, the spoken past, the thing you need the moment someone asks. So, what did you do this weekend? Stick with me because by the end of this you will actually be able to answer that. Normal learning is boring, so I have made together a German practice hub to test your skills. So let's get started. So here's what we are covering today. Just three things, but they are the right three things. 1. The helper verbs, because you can't build the past without them. 2. This fascinating sentence structure. Germans use that unlike anything in English. And 3. How to actually form the past participle, the action verb that sits at the end. Let's do it. Before we jump in, I want to answer a question I get all the time. Wait, German has two past tenses? Which one do I actually use? Here's the simple answer. Germans speak in the perfect, which is the present perfect, and write in the praterium, which is the simple past. That's it. If you're talking to a friend, telling a story, describing your day, it's going to be perfect tense every time. It's the living, breathing past tense of real conversation, and that's exactly why we are starting here. Alright, to build the perfect, you need a helper verb. Think of it like a sidekick, and you have got two to choose from, happen to have or sein to be. Take a look at the table on the screen. The basic logic: Zine tags along with movement and change. Haben handles pretty much everything else. And here's something that trips a lot of people up. The helper verb doesn't translate into English and the way you would expect. It doesn't mean have in the possessive sense. It's just a signal that you're in the past. Now, here's the part that surprises most English speakers. German sentences in the past tense work like a bracket, or what Germans call a Satzklammer. Imagine your sentence is a vault. The helper verb haben or sein locks into position 2, right where you would expect a verb. But the actual action verb, the past participle, gets sent all the way to the end, and everything else, your time verbs, words, your manner, your place, gets trapped in the middle. It sounds strange, but once you see it in the action, it clicks fast. So, what exactly do you use sein? First rule: movement. If the verb involves physically traveling from one place to another, gehen means to go, fliegen means to fly, or and fahren means to drive. Zine is your helper. Think of it this way: if your whole body relocated, Zine comes with you. The second Zine rule is a change of state. You haven't necessarily moved through space, but something about you is fundamentally different at the end. Abstehen means you went from asleep to awake. Sterben means from alive to not. These transformations, big or small, belong to Zine. Here's your safety net. When in doubt, go with haben. Around 80% of German verbs use it. The reliable tell is a direct object. If there is a thing receiving the action, haben is almost always right. I ate an apple, I read a book, I bought a ticket. See the objects that haben territory. Okay, let's build the past participle. For regular or weak verbs, there is a clean formula, which is ge plus Websten plus t. That's it. Machen means gemacht. Spielen means gespielt. It's almost mathematical, and once you got it, you can form the past for hundreds of verbs without thinking twice. Now, the irregular or strong verbs do things a little differently. The formula is ge plus a change stem plus en. The vowel in the middle often shifts, which is what makes this feel unpredictable. Trinken means get Trinken. Essen means gegessen. Yes, you will need to memorize these, but the en ending is always your signal that you are looking at a strong verb. Here's a trap that catches a lot of learners. Not every verb gets a GE prefix. If a verb already starts with an inseparable prefix, which is be, were, air, those prefixes block the ge from ever showing up. Were coughen doesn't become gave coughed. It says were coughed. So the prefix is doing all the heavy lifting already. So ge just steps aside. Separable verbs though, they do something really dramatic. When you move to the past, the ge doesn't attach to the front. It squeezes right into the middle of the verb. Aufhören, to stop, splits open and becomes aufgehört. It almost looks like it shouldn't work, but it does. And honestly, it's one of my favorite little quirks of German. One more shortcut, and this one will save you time constantly. Any verb ending in ieren, studieren, telefonieren, funktionieren, these are loan words, usually from French or Latin, and they are too cosmopolitan for the G prefix. They just take a T at the end. Studieren means studiert. Clean, simple, no fuss, just skip the GE. Good storytelling needs a timeline. So here's the vocabulary that sets the scene. Gestern means yesterday. Vorgestern means the day before yesterday, and let's just jar means last year. Einen Woche means a week ago. Drop one of these right after your helper word, and instantly your listener knows exactly when this happened. These small verbs do a lot of work. Every language has its rule breakers, and German is no different. Bleiben to stay and sein to be. Both use sein as the helper. Even though staying in place and simply existing feel like the opposite of movement or change, it feels counterintuitive, but just accept it. Ich bin zu Haus geblieben. I stayed home. These are common enough that they'll stick fast. One more thing for natural is sounding speech. Technically, Haben and Sein have their own perfect forms, but real Germans almost never say them out loud. Instead of Ich bin gewesen, you will hear Ich war. Instead of Ich habe gehabt, they just say Ich hatte. These Praterium shortcuts sound far more natural in conversation, and using them will make you sound like you actually know the language, not just study it. Alright, let's test your instincts. I will show 5 verbs on screen. Pause the video and decide. Haben or sein. Ready? Okay, so the first one. Assent to eat. You need to find the helping word of it. So the answer will be haben, which when you are eating, it takes the object, means you are eating. It should be haben. Fahren, to drive. It should be movement. Driving is movement. So it will be sein. Schlafen means to sleep. But what is the helping word? Haben. Because you are in the state of rest. And passieren means to happen. So the answer will be sign, because it's a state of change. It's something is happening. Now let's actually build some sentences. We are converting present tense into perfect. Try pausing the video and think of an answer. Okay, so the first one. Ich kaufe ein. So you need to convert present into past. So let's see. Ich habe eingekauft. Here. Er trinkt Wasser means in the past it will be er hat Wasser getrunken. Then wir fliegen nach Rom. In the past it will be wir sind nach Rom geflogen. Sie besucht mich. It means sie hat mich besucht. It's the same but in past. Here's where it all comes together. A real day in the life story of the perfect. Ich bin 7 Uhr aufgestanden means I woke up at 7. Ich habe Kaffee getrunken means I drank coffee. Dann bin ich zur Arbeit gefahren means then I drove to work. Ich habe 8 Stunden gearbeitet means I worked 8 hours. Am Abend bin ich zu Haus geblieben. In the evening I stayed home. Read those sentences out loud. Notice the rhythm. The helper verb sitting in the middle, the action verb landing at the end every single time. That pattern is German storytelling. Now it's time I will show you the practice hub. So here is the practice hub. In this practice hub, there is thing called storytellers hub, which we learn in today's video about the perfect tense. There are two features right here, which is learn the theory and live training. In the learn the theory, you can there are four slides and there are many information right there that you have to learn. And here in the live training, if you want to do any question answers, you can click on the questions. How many questions do you want? And then you can go on start training. And it will give you the exact amount of questions you need. And this grammar vault is the ultimate cheat sheet for your perfect tense. And this is the leaderboard here, Hall of Fame, where global sync is going to come soon. But these players will race against you, so keep an eye for that. If you want to report any bugs or feature suggest, you can click on these two buttons right here to know more. So here's what to take away from today. Pick the right helper, Haben for actions with objects, Sein for movement and change. Put it in position 2. Kick the participle to the end and keep an eye out for those prefix rules. That's the whole system. Now it's your turn. Write your own perfect sentence in the comments along with the XP you got in that practice hub. Tell me about your morning, your weekend, anything. I read every single one. The practice worksheet for today is over at the German Practice Hub, linked in the pinned comment below. If you have any doubt, feel free to ask. Bis zum nächsten Mal. See you next time. Tschüss.